rock.
Yeah, that was okay.
Yeah, and it was all right.
Yeah.
It was fun. It's fitting for today. It's kind of like disorganized and disheveled. Kind of like...
Yeah, rainy, dreary day.
Yeah, rainy, you know.
Yeah. It's kind of been all over the place today.
Yeah.
But it keeps you on your toes.
At least we got to go visit Corey at Olive Garden. That was good.
It
was a good time.
Yeah.
It's a good time. It always feels weird, like, visiting your friends where they work, because you're like, which persona do I, like, approach them with? Like,
do I act like the serious person that they
yeah.
pretend to be like they're here, or do I treat
right.
them like the animal that they are in real life?
Right. Or, I mean, you know, you could treat them like the animal that they are, you know, like, in their work environment, you know. Like Corey, he was a server. We could have just been in there and been like, hey, I need like 8 glasses of water and 2 cups of coffee.
I think he would have done it.
Yeah, he would have done it.
Yeah.
It's like whenever, like when people come in to see me at work, I'm always just like, hey man, like what's up? Like I immediately like engage like the friend persona, so that like it's like, don't you dare act like a customer to me, because then that's gonna like cause this really horrible social awkwardness.
Yeah.
That's like, we maybe forget about what our relationship was?
Are we pretending not to be friends now?
Yeah, our like relationship does not exist inside of this establishment.
Yeah.
It's like right now you are my customer.
Is our friendship foundation not strong enough?
Yeah.
For us to not have to pretend?
And that's honestly, I learned a little bit about the depth of my relationships with people whenever I worked at Panera Bread in Carlisle, because we grew up in Carlisle.
So you're seeing like all the people just come in.
Yeah, I'm seeing all the people, and like people that I would be like, you know, normal. Sometimes like people that I would think that I would have like a good like foundation for like at least a conversation kind of basis.
And they're just like, hey, I know you, and then they just walk away.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, I'd like a you pick too, and I'd like yeah. Yeah, no, okay. Well, how's it going? You know, how you been? You know, yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. I've been all right. I've been okay. Who are you again? And it's like, oh shit.
Oh wait, I thought you knew me.
Wait, nah, never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't recognize you with the apron and the. Oh yeah. It's like, oh damn.
See, I think you and I are definitely different in that way, because if the second I see somebody in public that I know,
right,
and like even if we lock eyes, I'll commit to not knowing them.
I don't.
I tried to do that today, but he committed hard. It happened to me at Walmart.
Who?
Some guy I worked with at Amazon. He's a nice guy. Like, I don't have anything, I have nothing wrong to say about him. Like, I think we're actually friends on Facebook.
Right.
But the second I saw him, I was like, oh, dude, I did not prepare for this. I came here to come in and get out.
Right.
And
yeah.
I think the best part of that interaction was he was like, dead set on giving me the biggest handshake there ever was.
Oh yeah,
which is crazy, because now I haven't shaken somebody's hand in like months.
Yeah,
isn't that weird?
Yeah. It's like our whole our idea of like engaging socially has changed because of COVID-19.
Yeah, like so I'll have like at work, like I have these meetings with my boss, right?
Right.
And I don't know if I should engage, because now is it more professional to be conscious enough to not do that,
right,
than to do it,
right? And you never know if like your boss is like COVID's not real, or if he's just like we need to be way more conscientious about it,
because you're one of the
don't you dare touch me, don't you dare come in like within 8 feet, 6 feet right now,
keep it
right, because like I have like bosses that are on both sides of the spectrum, you know what I'm saying? They'll like come in and damn near like French kiss me and be like, hey, what's up, bro? And I'm just like, yo, chill right now. But then there's like some that are just like please, like don't even talk near me.
Hey.
Yeah, and it's like okay, I understand.
Yeah.
What going back to like that whole, what is it about that whole social interaction when you see somebody that like you knew in like a past, in like a part, like you're like a friend that you had from the past, and you would like run into them in public? It's like what makes your Because like I do that too. I know you said you did,
Like,
but I do it too.
Why do I avoid people?
Why? Because like for me, it's like I don't like want to have to go into my like energy reserves
Yes.
to have this conversation right now.
That's what it is. Well, like, because some people are like, they can turn it on like a
Right.
switch where they're like, hey, how you
Right.
doing? How's life? What are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I have to prepare myself for that. And see, when I don't prepare myself for that, it's always like the most surface level, like, hey, what's going on? And it's like, and then it's like, oh yeah, I work here. I do this.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yep.
You know, and then
Bye.
then that just makes me feel worse than not having had an interaction with them.
Right. Right. Totally.
Because then I'm like, that interaction kind of was worse than the last one that I had with them, and I wish I would have just had the last one.
Yeah. Right. Right. Or it's like I've been so far gone from this person that I don't even remember the last interaction. So it's like I have no idea how to interact with you, even though I know that maybe it's implied that I have to because I knew you. Right?
Yeah.
It's like
a very human thing.
it's like damn, like you definitely exist in my memory banks, but like the relationship that we had does not anymore. Like I don't know how to interact.
Yeah.
Hello, person from my past.
Like, please don't take it personally if I don't
Yeah,
interact with you, because it's not personal.
That's my thing too. I'm like it's not. It's not that I don't like you. It's not that like you're a bad person.
And I want to avoid you.
Right. Maybe it's because like I'm a bad person. It's like I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't want to interact right now. It's honestly how it's the same thing with me about like texting and like messaging people back, literally communicating. It's bad. It's like really bad because it's like it'll be like so many people people will text me throughout the day, and I'll look at the message or I'll see it pop up.
Nice, dude.
I'll see it pop up.
Kidding.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's not that many people. Trust me. It's like I'll see the message and be like, yeah, I'll respond to that later. Whenever I have like thought about my answer or whenever I have like thought about what to say back, because for some reason it's like vital to me to like think out my response, and I have to be like, it's like to me, it's like if I have it in writing, it's got to be like the perfect response. It has to be like the most appropriate response to
the most uncancelable response.
Well, like it doesn't matter. Like it's like I have to think about it. It's like to me, it's like I have to process, and then it's like it becomes like it's like, dang, I don't have the energy to process what I'm even going to respond, and then it's like I just never do. And then it's like I'll look at it and be like, it'll be like 5 days later. It's like, yo, they messaged me 5 days ago. I was like, I guess I have to now. And then I just end up sending them like
the text that you would have sent
yes.
if you had just sent it immediately.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
but you also cannot interact with that person without answering that question, because that question doesn't disappear in a text.
Right.
So it's not like you can be like, hey, dude, how you doing? Then the person will be like,
exactly.
Read above. Please.
And then if you do answer and you forget, and it's like you just seem like the biggest asshole, and it's like, dude, and then you get canceled because it's like, oh, did I just cool guy this person? Like cool guying is a real thing, and that's like people.
Cool guying is a thing, but you can't take that personally either, because like to feel like you've been cool guyed is to think that person did that on purpose. Sometimes people just don't respond because I do it all the time. I feel really bad because I do it to like the same people consistently, but that's because like I read their text, and then like aside from some people I can just respond immediately, but other people I have to like check a schedule and make sure like with other people that like I can do things. So by the time I get that figured out, I'm on to the next thing. And then 5 days later, like you said, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm cool for that date.
Yeah, dude. Planning things. How does one get their brain to a point where they can just like plan out intricate things? Like Kiri, she will like write out the entire month on like the calendar.
It's a good idea.
What's going on, and to her that's a learned trait for her, because she never, I don't think she didn't really, we never had like a calendar, you know what I'm saying, that we all like look. It was only a couple of months ago, I think, or like a few months ago back, where she got this calendar and she started writing on it, and it's just like now I can like walk by it and kind of like see things and have like a rough,
You're like, oh,
like, wow, what has this technology never existed? A calendar.
well, the problem is like the technology is like at its most available form on our phone, but we still don't use it.
But the thing about that,
I don't like that. I don't like the phone calendar because like
did you get a hair bud?
I got a piece of lint. Lint.
Dude,
Yeah.
I know I hate the phone calendar because it's like I'm there for different reasons. I'm on my phone for different reasons. Like personally, I'm probably on my phone because I need to get out of my head and be distracted. And it's like if my phone is like, if I'm trying to escape and get out of my head, and then my phone is like, hey man, you've got like responsibilities, and I'm just like, I can't escape. So it's like,
Yeah.
if it's on the wall, it's like I'll only look at it. I'll only walk by it a couple times.
Like
today.
it's something in a physical location where
Yeah.
you can step away from it and
Yes.
not acknowledge it.
Yeah,
Where your
whereas
phone is gonna like buzz in your
it follows
pocket or
you.
be like,
yeah, it follows you.
dude,
It's
it
like,
doesn't follow you. You bring it with you.
Yeah, all right. Well, you're
That's
right.
heavy.
Does the phone follow you, or do you follow the phone? Maybe you follow the phone and it follows back. I don't know what that means, but it could mean something.
We'll think about that one later.
It reminds me of the Netflix documentary, The Social Dilemma. And they talk about how your phone listens to you. And it like makes it personalizes the ads for you based on what you say and what you talk about.
I find that stuff really interesting, but I take those documentaries with a grain of salt just because like those people used to work for those companies, right? Most of the people in that documentary. And I feel like sometimes that those avenues are like speaking out about those kinds of things or like having a platform like that is like a last ditch effort to be like to make some sort of splash with your own life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I just watch them and I'm like, yeah, all this could be true, but you could be like over dramatizing it just for the.
Yeah, you're right. So maybe I did get some of those vibes from some of the people in that documentary, but
That's with any documentary, though.
Right.
I feel like.
Right. I feel like anything, it's just like a technology thing. Like with technology, with developing technology, there will be like pros and cons. I think it's all about like the awareness of the technology. I think where the people were questioning the ethics of that kind of stuff and of those kinds of algorithms, they were saying like, just talking about how they don't think that their target demo is like aware of it. But like me as a target demo, like I know that I'm kind of aware of it. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever
you willingly traded that privacy for that.
I downloaded Facebook and it's that would Facebook would like to access your microphone. Do you accept? Yes, I accept. And then whenever I hit that, it's like, all right, now it's gonna like kind of like hear me, and it's gonna like whenever I talk about Oreos, I'm gonna get like an Oreo ad, and it's like. But some people are not aware that that's how that works.
That's
right?
true.
So it's like
because they think that it's just allowing access for you to be able to shoot video of
Right.
yourself or record.
Right. And like
it's much more than that.
It's much more than that. So you have to look into it. So honestly, it kind of comes down to the consumer of the technology. And it's just like I feel like in our world, it's like there's so much technology that does so much. It's like how do you inform all of these normal tech goers that are just like people like our parents, you know what I'm saying, are like coworkers that have no idea. They just got like an iPhone. How do you inform them the incredible depth of what this piece of technology goes? Because like they're not going to understand.
We were
it all.
kind of just being the age that we are. We were kind of like ramped up to that idea.
Right. Something to think about, I think.
Yeah. So somebody just diving into it, like if you're supposed to like throw an iPhone into the. I mean, Amish people have iPhones, but like. Throw it
It's
in
funny, I guess they do.
They do, dude. Like Amish people have technology, and it's actually kind of absurd because it's like a loophole lifestyle. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's
Isn't
like
that
the 1800s are just perfect, but iPhones are sick.
I just given my my family history, I can't totally knock Amish people, but at the same time, I really want to knock Amish people.
Right,
because,
but maybe you can because you have history in it. Like enlighten me as a non-Amish.
The thing is, I don't understand. I'm interested in diving into it more because of who my grandfather was.
Right.
And I don't really want to comment on that just because I don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
What I see, especially just living in Shippensburg, where it's like Shippensburg is it's like a town, but like right outside of it is like the Amish and Mennonites and all that stuff. I think it's more Mennonite than Amish, but
it is.
They use technology. They allow it as an acceptable thing if it's used for work.
I see.
But, like, what? Doesn't that just contradict? I don't know.
Why,
I
bro?
just think, and then like the other thing too is like not being able to use a car, but you can use a car if somebody else is driving it. What? That's ridiculous.
It is.
Just ride your horse, Jacob.
It's ridiculous. I have a hard time understanding those communities, but I don't. It's like they're doing their own thing. You can't. But I don't know. What that is weird. Like why
Let
not?
it go.
Just let it go, dude. Just I don't know. But my coworker used this term that I thought was really interesting. She said that like people that were not born from the 90s, like people that were born before the 90s are like technically like technological like immigrants to the current day and age. As in they didn't grow in the like maybe the education system and like the modern world where these things were developing, and so were our like noggins, our brains were developing.
Well, they were being integrated into schools as we were growing up.
But
yeah,
like so
sense.
people born in like the 70s and 60s and stuff, like that stuff was it began to exist when after they have already like developed their lives and lifestyles and have maybe become like comfortable in their own environment, and yet their outside environment is changing and there's more things happening, right? And so they kind of maybe maybe perceive current technology as harmless as like new technology was to them, because it's like to them all the technology might be on the same plateau. Like the Walkman, right? That was necessarily like a kind of new.
You could take your music with you.
Take your music with you wherever you're going, dude. That's crazy technology. So like maybe to somebody where the Walkman was new, whenever the iPhone comes out, it's like it's just like that, right? It's just kind of I can listen to my music on it, and it's like now I can FaceTime people. It's like, but what you also don't know, Daryl, is that it listens to you. Now it listens to you, and there's
then when they find that out, they're pissed.
They're pissed about it. But what they don't understand is that like it's not all bad, it's not all good.
Yeah,
but it's not all bad. Like the ethics of things will always be questioned, I think, whenever stuff gets developed, because it's like new ground.
Yeah,
like we were talking about Black Sabbath in the last episode, right? That was new ground.
Like the metal. Yeah, you're talking about like bringing that in.
The ethics of Black Sabbath was totally questioned, and it's like
now it's like child's play compared to what's happening now.
Right.
Like,
True.
Like,
so I guess all I'm trying to say is like when existing in like a free enterprise, these things will be monetized on. Like the more we develop technology and software, like there will be ways to monetize on them, and just your attention is one way to monetize. And how could you deny that a root of like how it's being taken? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because even if it's bad in the moment, it could be good in the long run because it could enable somebody to make great things.
Right. So maybe it's not the technology that's the problem, it's the awareness of.
So if we weren't aware, it would be better?
No, if everybody was more aware of what their technology was and how to use it. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe when Apple develops or comes out with stuff, maybe they can, well, I guess they already do a pretty good job of trying to explain.
Agree.
Yeah. It's like, dang.
Yeah.
Read that stuff, because there's stuff in there. There's stuff in there that, like, they're going to tell you, like, hey, we're, like, listening to you, and, like, we do this stuff, and we try to personalize ads for you.
The thing, it might just be as easy as laying it out in a list like that. Because the way it is now is it's a ton of like just legal jargon. Like, so when we start reading it, it's like end user agreement, and we're like, already I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't need this. I'm just
we all just think like, oh, this is that the lawyers put them there. You made them put this here. And I just want
my dopamine.
I just want to fucking use my iPhone, bro. Like, agree. It's like that South Park episode. There's a South Park episode, I swear, where they're like, where they agree, and then it's like they sold their souls to like iTunes or whatever, and it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Now they're like iTunes slaves because they hit agree and stuff. It's like, so it's like, it's just funny, man. I don't know.
Wild. Hey, okay, so the last time I was at your place, I talked to you about that diet Black Mirror show.
Yeah.
Where like Bryan Cranston is like, I'm downloading. Did you get to that part?
Yeah, I got to that part, dude.
Yeah.
I was, it's funny because it's like I always really loved like Walter White, and I just hated that guy's character.
Yeah.
And so it was like I was so conflicted. I think I fell asleep before I finished it. But like it's
like a Twilight Zone thing.
Yeah,
anybody who's listening. It's like Diet Black Mirror, but it's on Amazon Prime. What is it called?
Electric Dreams?
Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams.
Yeah, man.
So if you're lacking on the whole Black Mirror front, that's enough to get you through. I don't know why.
If you finish Promised Neverland, you should watch that next. It's sick.
But no, so the end episode of that season is called Kill Them All. Dude, and that one is great.
It's a sick album.
Yeah. Is it Kill Them All?
It's
called Kill All Others is what it's called.
Oh, okay.
So
I was thinking of Metallica, but
Kill Them All.
Yeah.
But no. Okay, so it's like really interesting. I really wanted to talk about that episode because it's like this guy that's like going through life, and it's wild because like he has like basically AirPods in, and so it's like I don't know. I find myself being like that where like I go to the store and I'll just like put my AirPods in, and it's just like
totally.
Which is kind of crazy because you see that in like dystopian like movies nowadays that like people just have like headphones in all the time, so they're like always listening to something or can like have notifications like that. But anyway, so like he can like tune into whatever's on the screen on the train, and it's always like these political debates, which is like kind of interesting. I feel like it alludes to like where we're at now, but like anyway, the funny thing about it is it's not the U.S. anymore. It's Mexiscan. So it's like Mexico, United States, and Canada. And it's all one state. So they go through, I guess it like happens before, but apparently they go through like all of these candidates. And instead of having like multiple candidates to choose from, it's just one candidate.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
like she instead of like her debating with another candidate, it's just her debating with like the news person. And so like so she's just like giving all her talking points to the news person, but like during the course of her talking, she's like yada yada yada, like taxes, blah 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 blah, kill all others, and then keeps on going. And then the guy's like, did you hear that? And like nobody pays attention to it.
She said, "Kill all others."
Yeah. So then like everybody's like, yeah, you mean the taxes thing? Is that what you're talking about? And then so then the like news person starts talking about that, and he's like, but what about the thing that she just said? and then he starts to see it on like billboards and everything like that, and it's just like it's just crazy because I don't know. I just think the whole Mexiscan thing is like hilarious.
It's like it's like a Pangea of like
it's just the whole like like North America is just one country now.
That's so funny. That's so funny, man. I don't know. I think what I really like about like those kinds of like series, like the Black Mirror series and I guess Electric Dreams, is that it almost kind of like it just like amplifies our anxiety about the developing world, and it blows it up into like fantasies about like post-apocalyptic situations or what is going to happen in the distant future if we keep on going with like this, or if we keep on doing that and we keep on doing this. And it's like a cool way to like kind of bring awareness to people that are like maybe desensitized by like their by like things that they're not aware of, you know what I'm saying? Like how, like for instance, obviously like how much you're using your phone, you know, if somebody you know somebody's like super addicted to their phone and like super addicted to that next serotonin boost that they get from that notification, and then they watch like the first season of Black Mirror and they're like, damn dude, like whoa, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, but also on the other hand, it's like kind of like it invents a little bit of anxiety that maybe shouldn't really be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I shouldn't be afraid that maybe in like 30 years there's going to be like electric robotic wolves hunting me down. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that that's going to be a reality.
Right. Definitely. It's definitely like a caricature of like what could possibly happen. But like most of the time, if we're able to create things like that,
right,
it's not like we're able to look at that and be like, oh, I don't want to get there.
Right.
So like, maybe there's like ways of preventing it by creating a form of art that like mocks what we could be.
Right. It's so like interesting about how
I do want to say that I smelled your burp earlier. That was weird.
Yeah, they're like coming out right now.
Yep.
Y'all are just gonna have to deal with that.
Got that knocky burp.
Yeah. This mic's gonna smells weird. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. It's like fun. It's just cool. It's funny how like the human mind, like we're always fantasizing about our inevitable doom. It draws us. It makes us like, you know, religious. It makes us superstitious. It makes us anxious. It makes us like, you know what I'm saying? We're always like fantasizing about like, dude, the imminent demise is this. The imminent demise is that, bro. Me. My phone, dude, your phone, that's going to kill you.
That's going to kill you. No, dude, that's super interesting that you say that, because I was listening to something, a psychologist, and he's talking about how somebody asked him why. So we're a species that thrives on togetherness.
Yeah.
So why is it that at times like our great like philosophers in the past, when they come up with their best analysis of like the human mind, is whenever they go into isolation. And so he kind of went on this huge tangent, and I don't know, I just thought it was interesting, but he talks about how what's interesting about the human mind is that we're able to in preparation for the worst, we can imagine it,
Right.
which is a lot of what children do whenever they're scared of the dark.
Right.
So whenever children are scared of the dark, they create monsters. And so in order to just kind of prepare them for things that could be coming, they imagine that they're
Right.
there.
It's a little part of our lizard brain. It's a little part of our evolutionary like brain mechanism back there that's like, yo, dude, like,
But we're able
You're
to
anxious.
take it one step further.
make an abstract illustration of what could possibly happen.
Yeah. But then even further than that, we're able to make an abstract idea of how we could conquer it.
Right.
So it's not just like
So
recognizing
run to
that's-
my parents' bed, hide in my parents' bed. That's
Yeah,
like the
well,
child. That's like the child's version of like how I can conquer this. Maybe
That's running away. But like
Right.
even sometimes like
flight.
if you have like terrible dreams, like, well, the example that he brought up was something where it was like a child was having night terrors and he would always wake up screaming. But so like in his dreams, it'd be like these weird dwarfs running around and like chasing him and like poking at him and all this stuff with their like, they had like beaks or something and like no
Okay.
arms. It was a really weird dream.
Ooh,
Like
weird.
dwarves that were like this big with beaks and really
I
strong
don't-
legs, and they would jump up and just
I don't like
Yeah.
that.
I don't like that at all. But like, so then another part of his dream was that there was this like dragon off in the distance, and so like the question that he asked him as a psychiatrist is like, well, what can you do about that? And then so like he basically said like, oh, I could like go and like kill the dragon instead of just like being afraid that the dragon is there. You can like kind of conceptualize like going out and killing that dragon
To eliminate your fear.
and then I don't know. I don't know if that was like what got rid of the kid's night terrors or whatever, but that's what he said, that kid went to sleep and didn't have those night terrors ever again because he like envisioned himself conquering whatever it was that
Interesting.
his dream was telling him he was
Yeah.
afraid of.
Yeah.
And then that was that.
Wow. Weird.
The brain is crazy.
The brain is super crazy. I remember, I mean, like, I would get scared of the dark a lot as a kid, and like I would like every night I would like get up and like just like sneak into my parents' bed and just sleep there because like I was just so scared of the dark. And you're right, like I would like stare into the dark to the point where like I would imagine things out there, you know what I'm saying? And like it just my brain would create them.
Yeah, I think my biggest, my like monster as a kid was swimming, and like it was like swimming in the dark, because like my parents would have like tiki torches around that like pool in the backyard, where we like should have died, but we
Dude, I
magically
freaking
didn't.
I loved
Yeah.
that pool.
Yeah, that was wild. But like whenever they would do that, and like I would try to get in the pool, like I would think that there was like a shark in the pool.
Like
Because you can't see in
can't
the
see
water.
there, yeah.
But it's just like a totally irrational thing because it's a swimming pool, and I've seen it during the day.
right.
But for some reason, like just because it was dark and like I didn't know what was there, I was like envisioning some sort of like megalodon shark
Right.
eating me in a 4-foot pool in the middle of a suburb.
For some reason, the most terrifying thing to me as a child, we always go back to like being children.
I think
in
we're
this-
trying to analyze our childhoods
Dude,
to
yeah,
see
this
if there's something that we're missing.
this podcast is us unpacking our childhood. So, all you listeners out there, just bear with us.
Yeah, we might be different people at the end of these
Yeah, yep.
podcasts.
Yep, you're our therapists. Anyway, for some reason, the most terrifying thing to me as a child was like mummies. Why was that?
Mummies?
Yeah, man, like people, like dead people wrapped up in paper. I don't know. And for some reason, just like
Like the classic mummy, like
a
wrapped
classic
in like toilet
mummy.
paper type
I
thing.
think that I also like Ocarina of Time was like a brand new video game whenever I was a tyke, and so like
You have that for N64?
yeah. Yeah, and so like I think when I discovered the Redeads in that game, I was like just like ultimately terrified of mummies because
Well-
they're not like mummies, but they are mummies. And like they just kind of stand around and like moan. for some reason that just terrified the shit out of me. And so like,
did you have dreams about them?
I would
or,
have
like,
dreams about them, and I would like see them in like my closets and in dad and mom's closet. And like, I don't know why. I just like was so scared of mummies, bro. And so in the dark, I would just imagine mummies.
Yeah.
And then just be like, I gotta get the fuck out of here, bro.
I always think about that Mummy movie. And I can't,
Right.
for the life of me, ever name that guy who plays the mummy.
Dang. That was also something that contributed to my
He's
mummy
always so
fears.
like,
yeah,
and everything he does,
dude,
it's hilarious.
like the whole scene where they're like mummifying him, that just scared the piss out of me too.
He's like, oh.
Yeah, and like they put all of like the bugs in the sarcophagus or whatever.
Oh yeah, that was like the movie where they had scarabs under their skin, right? And it was
Yeah,
like,
something. Yeah, and I was just like, dude, I was just like, this is just the most terrifying mummies, bro. Why? Ew.
ew.
But then you dive into like thinking about like what mummification was, obviously before Hollywood illustrated it to my child brain. It's like mummifying a body was like a very sacred and holy thing, and
Yeah.
you're like,
And then they turned it in like a Halloween.
yeah. It's like it's so funny because it's like to me, my first perception of mummies was like a terrifying monster that's gonna like. Also, maybe another thing that's terrifying about mummies that was terrifying to me is that like I don't know how they kill you. How does a mummy kill you? Does it
Because
eat your brains?
They're slow.
Does it? Right.
They're always like, oh, you know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's slow and it walks towards you. How is it going to kill you? I don't know, but it's scary because you don't have the answer. Maybe that
might be something to look into.
Yeah, how are mummies supposed to kill you?
A mummy is just like a zombie, right? That's all it is. It's just a zombie wrapped in paper.
It's just like, yeah, it's like
and also, they probably weren't like wrapped in paper like we think about them.
Right. Like a mummy is just like
I don't
a
know.
zombie with more like culture. Like zombies are just like an American suburban like made like, all right, we're gonna scare the kids with this one, but it's like mummies are like, yeah, well, we're that, but like we have like culture
Pyramids.
pyramids and like history, and that makes us more terrifying. It's like, yeah, well, the zombies that you're like killing were like they died like 10 years ago, but I'm like 2,000 years old, man.
Well, I think.
This is our Halloween episode, by the way.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, it's
Oh, maybe we should do a Halloween episode.
should be. Dude, I'll get my hot dog costume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
You got your banana hat.
I'll get my banana hat out, dude. We'll do a
All right,
Halloween
we gotta
episode.
hold ourselves to this. Next
Heck yeah.
episode, for sure. Hot dog and a banana.
Dude, there's a new anime. Well, I don't think it's new, but I
Wait, hold on. I was thinking about this right before we said the Halloween
Okay,
costume.
yeah, right. I don't
But
want to get you off track.
we were on Egyptian
Yeah.
because we're talking about mummies.
Yes.
I learned that the Sphinx did not originally have like a man's face carved into it.
Oh.
What? It used to be like a cat.
Oh.
And then they found it again, and then they carved into it, and now we have that ancient ruin. So it's like
Okay.
somebody... That's messed up, dude. Somebody made some art, and then somebody said, nah, and then changed it, and now we're like, that's what it is now. I'd be pissed if I was the original creator.
I'm just going to come out right out and say it that like that part of the world, that shit just, it pisses me off. It's so old. Like Egypt and like that whole part of the world, it's just like so ridiculously ancient that how the fuck are we ever going to know what happened there? How are we ever going to know what so like, okay, so like you said,
That pisses you off?
it pisses me off. It's like were the pyramids built by slaves or not? Because there's so many theories that go both ways.
I don't really think that it's... how many theories, really?
There's like
the aliens theory.
yeah, right. Okay,
Like-
so maybe that's what I'm saying.
Gone.
Is that there's just like
I would say that it was probably, and I'm going to throw a word out here. I don't really know if it's the right word. Burgeoning? Is that a right word? It was thriving.
Right.
A thriving
A
world.
metropolis
Yes. And so
with
they may
possibly
have
like
been,
maybe millions of people.
Yeah. And so I wouldn't say that it was like, maybe I'm uneducated here. Maybe I'm out of line. But we see it as slavery, but
Right.
maybe they were working to
Right.
work in a
Right.
metropolis. And they were probably skilled laborers, because something like that isn't just something that like a captured bunch of humans can make.
That's right.
I think that's the most logical thing.
That has to be like, because like, what do our captured humans do? Like, they pick up garbage on the side of the highway.
Are you talking about prison people?
Sure, those are captured people, right? We captured them. Well, I can't. Or it's hard to compare to what maybe, but it's like the idea that slaves built.
Dude, we're so
pyramids.
far removed from how like the ancient world operated, where it was like, yeah,
bro,
we're taking over your
so
civilization. Like, give us all your people.
So
that is like what I meant by captured.
Right. So to go back on that thing that you were talking about, what carved the face into that thing? Who carved that face? Do we know? We don't know.
I think we do know, but I was just surprised at the fact that that's not the original thing.
It's just like that place is like so old that so much stuff has happened there that we're just going to learn about it forever. We're just going to like constantly dig it up and figure out like, oh dude, this is what happened here.
Yeah.
Like, oh dude, this is what that was, you know? Oh, it's not a burial site, it's like a temple. It's not a this, it's a that. They didn't do this here. They did that. They didn't build this.
But it's worth it to try.
It's worth it to try. It's like worth it to like, because it's interesting, you know, like how.
Yeah. Don't let it piss you off.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe I shouldn't get so mad about it. Maybe I'm not mad about it. I just want to know.
I just want to know too.
Give me the facts, Egypt.
I want to know everything.
Give me the facts. What happened there, man?
Egypt Gate.
Yeah, Egypt Gate. The memory hole exists.
It does.
I saw you tweet that, and then I looked it up about what it was.
You looked up the memory hole.
I should have texted you whenever I did that, and I didn't. I do that, but like, I looked it up, and like, that's crazy. What that is?
That concept?
The concept of that existing. I think that exists in more than just like the 1984 version.
Well, I feel like
It
the
exists.
version that we have today is that, so we have the internet, and it's not a concrete thing.
Right.
Where the difference between the internet and having a hard copy version of information is that like the internet, you can go in and edit it. Like,
Right.
You can
Yes.
have an article or like whatever and just change it, and then it's just like, oh, that's actually what happened. But if you go back to a book, you're like, wait a second, it's weird.
And then on the other side of that, it's like if you have a book and you write down false information, you can't go back and edit it. So like it's like it plays both sides, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like the memory hole can exist either way. Like I feel like as long as human error will exist, I feel like the memory but it's much more likely to happen in now's day and age because of how easily accessible information is and how much of it is out there and how much you can put out there and how much information you can consume,
and you can edit it.
Exactly. It's such a vast world of information, whereas back even into like, you know, maybe like, you know, like the 1980s when computers were being made and invented and like created and stuff, information was more concrete then. If you knew something,
People, you know what?
you probably knew it because you read it in a book, and if it was in a book, it was because a whole bunch of scholars said it should be there.
You know what people had before the internet that we don't have anymore?
What?
Encyclopedias.
What is that?
It's like a fact book.
It like tells you everything
like-
you got to know about stuff.
Yeah, it's like that is such a weird concept.
An encyclopedia? Because who is behind the encyclopedia? And who appoints those people to be behind the encyclopedia?
I'm not a fan of the big encyclopedia regime that took over.
No. The encyclopedia is there to educate people and help people, right?
Yeah,
It's like
it's like a dictionary for things
yeah,
and dates and
Right.
names.
right.
But like, there's only so much you can put in like a 26 book set
Yeah.
because it was like one book per letter.
Right. And so like yeah, exactly. And so yeah, exactly. And it's like it would change. It's got to change every year.
Well, that was the thing. They were encyclopedia salesmen, and they were raking it in because they were just like, "Oh well, that information you got there."
That's last year's info. Dude, encyclopedias is just like an analog internet. It's just like the analog version of Google.
Yeah, but it's like so slow. There's like the bandwidth is just awful.
It's like you can't like keyword search your encyclopedia. You got to like look through that shit. And then once you get there, you got to read it.
Yeah.
Like, dang, I can't just ask like, how do I cook chicken fettuccine?
Can't just ask Jeeves.
Yeah.
Also, that was a search engine that just ultimately did not get popular.
Jeeves.
Jeeves.
Was
You don't remember Ask Jeeves?
I don't. Do you remember Dogpile?
No.
Right. What were those?
Dogpile?
Yeah, search engines that just existed that were like
Did you use that in school?
remotely like Google. Yeah, I did.
Like Ask Jeeves was like, why did we use those?
Why did we use those?
Why didn't we
Who
just
knows?
use Google?
Who knows, dude? That guy, the Google dude, was like, "I'm gonna make Google," and then everybody was like, "Yo, that's a sick idea." And then they just like,
It's like, yeah, you're right. My search engine, dumb. But the only one that was like, I'm standing up to big Google is Bing.
"Oh yeah, Bing, Bing.com."
What was a stupid search engine?
Yeah, that's. Is Yahoo still a search engine? Can you like
It's more
look?
of a news site.
Yeah, it's like news
I'm
now,
sure you
right?
could, though, if you really wanted to.
Right. I've never just gone to Yahoo to like just check it out or like search stuff.
It's sometimes it's like the automatic, like if you use like a public
Right.
computer,
Yeah.
which is kind of icky if you think
It's like
about it.
it's like the AOL version of Google.
Yeah. No, I wanted to say, going back to, wow, this is definitely like shooting back to this topic, but like you were saying, like the immigrants into technology.
Yes.
All right. The way that you can tell that somebody is not one of us is they have a home phone.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you still have a home phone, you're Amish. You're like living in the 1800s, man. When
you gonna come to the future, man?
you gotta come to the future, man. There's iPhones and stuff, and they
Like you
listen
can take
to
your
you.
phone with you.
Yes.
I don't know a good argument for a home phone.
I don't either, man. I do. They're a little bit nostalgic, though. Like talking to your friends and like being like, what was that? Did I hear the click? Are my parents listening in? And then it's like I had to remember your numbers. That's why I know your phone number. Because of our home phone.
Yeah. Yeah, my memory of like other people's phone numbers definitely stops at when like I had to
Right.
not type it in anymore.
Right.
Like I know my family's and yours.
Right.
And that's about it.
Yeah. Same. Just because like those are the numbers I needed to know, like pre me having a cell phone, which was the Juke. That was my first cell phone.
Yeah. You lost that one.
Yeah, that was a
Looked.
rough
Wonder where it
rough
is.
time.
Where is it now? It's in a landfill somewhere, you
It's
think?
probably in a landfill somewhere. somebody, some like, some geologist or like.
They'll find it in 400
Yeah,
years and be like,
yeah. Some
what is this archaic?
some paleontologist will be like selling it as a jewel. It'll
No.
be like a diamond, and inside it, really tiny. It'll just be like a juke.
No, they'll be like looking at it and be like, what is this? And then they'll accidentally like, and it'll go like,
Dude. It's like, what's that one Disney movie or whatever it is? It's like Atlantis or whatever, where they get down into the lost city of Atlantis or whatever, and they find like that motorcycle thing, and they put their hand on it, and it turns on.
yeah, it'd be like that. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
but
gonna
it's
be
like-
like a really uneventful like.
Yeah. Only by then they'll speak like some crazy version of like Latin-based languages have been like extinct for like 5,000 years.
It'll just be like,
yeah. They'll pick it up and be like, I'll be like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever humans sound like 5,000 years from now.
yeah. I think it'll just be a series of like static and pops,
Yeah.
and that's what the music. will be too.
No. They won't even talk. Like Elon Musk will have invented the like.
Oh yeah.
Also, Elon
Before
Musk.
I even think the thought, you'll know it.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be telepathy. Well, all of our like USB brain chips will be like communicating to each other.
Yeah.
And so like nobody will know how to talk in the future. Also, Elon Musk will just be one of those heads in the jars like in Futurama. You know,
Yeah.
and he'll just be there then to like tell us what to do next with our technology.
No. The thing is like that will be completely dependent on a system, right?
Right.
But then that system will like have to be rebooted. But like the last person who knew how to reboot it like died. So anybody who's like trying to talk to each other
Oh.
through that system is just like looking at each other like,
Holy shit.
they're
It's
like,
just a world full of mute people, and we just like everybody just looks at each other like, huh?
and then we had to just reinvent
Yeah. I think
vocal language.
we just wrote a new Black Mirror episode or Electric Dreams.
Yeah.
Genius, brilliant,
Genius. Let's do it.
brilliant. Let's do it.
Oh yeah.